Bristol Prison is being pushed to the limit. That's according to volunteers who check conditions there. The Independent Monitoring Board says prisoners are being failed and that it's shocked and saddened by a recent increase in deaths at the jail. 9 people have died there in the last year. Here's Martin Jones from our investigations team.
Toph Hind kept detailed notes about conditions when he was in Bristol Prison.
When we got shown to our first cell, there was blood on the back of the door, there was blood on the ceiling.
He pleaded guilty to violent disorder after the Kill the Bill protests. He's now out on licence, but remembers clearly what it was like inside.
I got offered spice a lot. I saw some young guy who shaved his eyebrows off for a hit of spice. There was a suicide there when we were there. And there was a guy who was obviously very mentally unwell, who was banged up like the rest of us for 23 hours a day, who would scream and bang on his door all night.
He also had his anti-anxiety medication taken away when he went in and didn't get it back for a week. His comments chime with yet another damning report into conditions at Bristol Prison, this time delivered by volunteer monitors. Among numerous failings, an increase in overcrowding, too few staff, poor healthcare, the easy availability of drugs and alcohol. Worst, there were 9 deaths in custody in the year covered by this report, 6 of them suicide.
The staff there are hard-working and want to help the prisoners, but without those additional resources and the number of staff needed to run all the activities, it's very difficult to see how they can effectively and safely look after the prisoners in their care.
We've also been sent letters by another inmate. He describes Bristol Prison as a nightmare, with drugs, rats everywhere. On one day, he says, we have only 2 healthcare nurses for the whole prison. This has been going on for weeks, and nurses are tired physically and mentally of not getting help and waiting for medical supplies. He also describes one inmate being on spice for weeks. Another walks around in prison clothes he's soiled, including into a food area. In a statement, the prison service said, we have already taken action to address the serious concerns raised in the IMB report, including bolstering the number of frontline staff to reduce violence and improve support to vulnerable prisoners. They add they're undertaking significant refurbishments as part of our multi-billion-pound investment to improve conditions across the estate.
There will be people who say that prison should be a harsh experience, it should be a punishment. What's your response to that?
It is a punishment, but it's almost like an excuse for them not to put any effort in. And one of the main points is it's very, very badly run.
Everyone involved with Bristol Prison is hoping for improvements. Martin Jones, BBC Points West.